Welcome to the Sauce and Gravy channel. Johnny Mac here, the Gravy Guy. If you're looking for a great sauce for steak, you're in luck. Let me quickly walk you through how to make a mushroom red wine sauce for steak. Round up all of the ingredients and snag your trusty blade and a board. Work with the mushrooms first. I'm using 3/4 of a pound or 375 grams of button mushrooms. It's a good idea to wash them, dry them, and then chop them. You don't know where they've been. You can also use any mushrooms that you like. Next, 1 medium shallot, finely diced. For your convenience, I have a list of the ingredients used for this recipe in the description section below. This particular recipe is also in the Sauce and Gravy channel cookbook, Sauces Made Simply. If you'd like to make this recipe in the comfort of your own kitchen, I'll put a link to the cookbook in the description section below, as well as on the Sauce and Gravy channel website. That takes care of the prep work. Now it's time to cook up those steaks, and you have a couple different choices for that. You can grill them up, or you can fry them in a pan. Both ways will work. However, if you wanted to fry them up in the pan, it'll make your sauce taste heavenly. It'll leave the bits and pieces of the steak in the bottom of the pan and add loads of flavor. If you're using the saucepan to cook the steaks, remove them from the pan, put them to the side, cover them, keep them in a warm place, and while they rest, you can knock out that sauce. If you're grilling the steaks, you could knock out this sauce ahead of time or while you grill them. Either way, you're going to use a pan to make the mushroom red wine sauce. Put it on a burner over medium to high heat and add a neutral oil. If you fried the steaks in the pan, you have some fat left over from frying the steaks, so you'll just need about 1 tablespoon or 15 milliliters. If you grilled, you might want to add 2 tablespoons or 30 milliliters. Whenever the oil's hot, drop in the mushrooms. Take a spoon or a spatula, stir up the mushrooms, make sure they're well coated in the oil. It's also a good idea to use it to scrape the sides and the bottom of the pan to release any bits and pieces of steak if you fried the steak in the pan, so that they can help add flavor to this homemade sauce. Cook the mushrooms over medium to high heat until they have a touch of golden brown. The next step of the sauce making process is to add the finely diced shallots. Your heat, it's still over medium to high. Cook these guys until they're translucent and tender. You don't want to burn anything, so keep an eye on the temperature of the pan. If it's too high, turn it down and watch the oil level. If there's not enough oil, if it's too dry, add a little more, it's okay. When those shallots are just about done, you can round up some fresh shrubbery, some thyme, drop it in, roughly about 6 sprigs or so. And you know what? If you don't like thyme, well, this is homemade. It's from scratch. You can make it to taste. If you wanted to add some rosemary or garlic instead, go for it. Why not? Give it all a quick mix. Heat up those herbs to bring out their flavors. And then it's time to move on to the next step. Deglaze the pan with 2 cups or 500 milliliters of red wine. And I know I can read your mind. You're wondering, what type of red wine is he using? I like the way Merlot tastes, so that's what I use. However, a Cabernet would work, and whatever you do, just don't buy that cooking wine stuff that's in the stores. At least buy a cheap drinking wine. It doesn't have to be all that expensive to taste good in the sauce. Give it all a quick stir and bring it to a simmer over medium to high heat. While it starts to come to a simmer, you can also add 2 tablespoons of veal or beef demi-glace. And if you don't have homemade demi-glace, which I know a lot of people don't because it takes quite a long time to make, I'll put a link to some store-bought demi-glace in the description section below. Nice work, everybody. So the goal here at this point is to reduce this down by half or until it's as thick as you like. After a few minutes, this is what you should be shooting for. Check it out. Perfect. Time to move along. Turn off the heat, grab some tongs, and fish out those thyme sprigs. For this next step of the process, we're going to emulsify the butter into the sauce, so no heat. So turn off your burner. We're going to drop in 6 tablespoons of cubed cold butter. That's about 85 grams. Drop the butter in batches and use a spoon, or you can swirl the pan to mix that butter into the sauce. And that, everybody, is all that there is to it. That's how you make a mushroom red wine sauce. But of course, give it a taste, adjust the seasoning, add a dash of salt if necessary, and crack in some pepper if you want to. Thanks everybody for watching the Sauce and Gravy channel. If you enjoyed this recipe, be sure to hit that like button and share it with your friends. Are you into sauces and gravies? Then what are you waiting for? Smash that subscribe button and don't forget to hit that notification bell to stay tuned to the latest and greatest sauce making tips and techniques. Thank you again for watching. I'm happy to share these recipes with you. Remember, it's just you, me, and the sauces. Keep whisking, y'all.